What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word? Hummingbird. Here we go. So, this is the second half of season 10 for Basketball Wives. The first half ended, I guess, I want to say somewhere in August. So here we are with the second half of season 10. I did not review the first half because I didn't think I was going to watch Basketball Wives. So then I went ahead and I binge watched the entire first half of season 10. I thought, okay, this was a little bit interesting. So I decided to review the second half of season 10. So here we are, episode 14. It starts off with Brooke. She's sitting in a church and she's dressed all in black and she's looking very distraught. And I thought it had something to do with her daughter passing away because her daughter was killed in a car accident in September of 2022. So I don't know when these people are filming, when these episodes, I don't know. So I have no idea if this was filmed before or after her daughter passed away. I know that the first half of season 10 was definitely before because I think she was in one of the episodes at least. So the second half, when I see her sitting there in the church and she's dressed all in black, I don't know what was going on. Well, coming to find out, it had nothing to do with her daughter. It was about her husband. So at this time, her daughter had not passed away yet. So she was in the church feeling all distraught, all sad, crying. The pastor came out to even talk to her because of her husband's betrayal. But at that point, we don't know exactly how her husband betrayed her, but it's the most common way that husbands betray their wives. Moving on from there, we have Jennifer. So she's with Jelani and she's having a conversation with him, and Jelani tells her that he wants to introduce Jennifer to his parents. And so Jennifer sees this as a very big deal because it means that Jelani is wanting to take things a lot more serious. He had already asked her in the first half of season 10 if she was willing to commit, if they can commit to one another and be monogamous, I guess is what exclusive. That's exclusive. He wanted to be exclusive with her. So she said yes to that, of course. And so now he wants to introduce her to his parents. So I'm pretty sure Jennifer's really excited about that. Jelani is a huge step up from Tim Norman, the murderer. And I don't have to say alleged anymore because he was convicted. So this is a big improvement on so many levels, including the looks department. Why she was dating Tim Norman to begin with, I have no idea, because Jennifer seems like someone who likes the finer things in life, or the finer things of life. She likes very expensive things, expensive clothes, expensive shoes, bags, all of that. She's very much into labels. So, and maybe Tim Norman, she thought, could provide her a certain kind of lifestyle, but honey, in the looks department, that's not what we're doing now. So moving on from there, we have Malaysia and Jackie. So Malaysia is telling Jackie that her ex-husband, Gennaro, had issued a cease and desist to her business partners, preventing them from talking about him being a deadbeat dad and not paying child support. So Malaysia wonders who could have told Gennaro that she is talking about him not paying child support on this show, because the episodes at that time had not even aired yet, because she has mentioned that he doesn't pay child support, he doesn't take care of his kids, etc. So she's wondering, well, how did that get back to Gennaro, because the episodes have not aired yet, so it has to be someone within the group that must have told Gennaro that she's saying these things. Now, why he issued a cease and desist to her business partners, I didn't understand, because why would her business partners be talking about whether or not her ex-husband is paying support? Unless she's referring to the other ladies on the show as her business partners. So Malaysia, okay, so she considers, Malaysia's thinking about taking Gennaro to court for child support, which makes me think that in their divorce decree, child support probably was not ordered. So he probably just had promised her that he was going to send her money, but he didn't live up to that promise. And so now she wants to get something put in paper, put in a court order for her to enforce. Jackie asks Malaysia if she's willing to come back into the group, because in the first half of season 10, the group practically iced out Malaysia. She was having confrontations, or she was having issues with just about everybody in the group except for Jackie. And Buffy, but all the other women couldn't stand Malaysia. So she's been kind of keeping her distance, staying away from events. But Jackie's asking her if she's willing to come back into the fold. And I think Malaysia said yes. So then we have Brooke, British, and Brandy. They're all together, and Brooke is telling British and Brandy how she discovered that her husband was cheating on her. So she said that her husband he fell asleep one day, and while he was sleeping, he left his phone unlocked. So she took the phone and she went through all of his text messages, and that's how she found out that he was cheating on her. She said that she already had suspicions, and I think that for the most part, when you feel the need to check someone's phone, you definitely have suspicions. And whatever you see on that phone is most likely going to just confirm what you are already suspecting. So the women ask her, so what are you going to do? How are you going to move forward? She goes, I'm getting a divorce. What the hell you think is going on over here? I'm getting a damn divorce. So no matter what she would have said, I feel like the other ladies would have told her to do the opposite. If she would have said, I want to stay and work it out, they would have told her, no, girl, you deserve better. You need to leave him. But now that she said she's getting a divorce, I felt like the women wanted to tell her to try to work it out. Moving on from there, we have Duffy. Duffy's finally finding a balance between work and home. And that was the biggest problem between her and her fiance, is that her fiance thought she was traveling way too much, putting work ahead of family, and she was gone way too much. So they kind of argued back and forth about that, because she still wanted to be, in the club scenes and go wherever the money was, wherever the money took her. So now she's kind of calmed down, and she says she's going to be doing a lot more studio work, which is going to allow her to stay home a lot more. So British comes over. And British says that she is still dealing with her fraud and identity theft charges, because she's got this huge federal case looming above her head, where she has been indicted on all kinds of fraud, scams, stealing people's identities. I don't know the full details of it, but it's some serious stuff. And I'm just asking myself, how could these people who have this platform, okay, because a lot of the times when you are trying to do something for yourself, you have your own business, or you want to, whatever it is, when you're trying to promote whatever you're trying to promote for yourself to make money, to make an income, the biggest thing that you need is exposure and advertisement. And being on this show gives you that. So whatever she had going on, I don't know what she does for a living, British. I have no idea what she does for a living. Maybe she doesn't have her own business. Maybe she's working for someone else. I don't know. But I'm thinking this opportunity, whether the show is good or bad, whether it has high ratings or low ratings, the issue is you're still getting exposure. So why don't you take advantage of that and do something that's non-criminal? I've never understood how people can be on a television show that's giving them certain opportunities that they otherwise would not have, and then they decide to go out there and commit crimes. And it's not just because I think she was struggling. I don't know what it is about some of these people, but it also happens on the reality TV shows where the people are a whole lot more wealthy. Like, for example, Erica Girardi and her husband on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Her husband getting involved in all kinds of fraudulent scams. And then also on the other side, you have The Real Housewives of New Jersey, where Joe Giudice and Teresa Giudice were involved in all kinds. And I was like, why do y'all feel the need to do all of this stuff when you're on a platform that gives you the chance to do something a little bit more? I will never understand, but whatever. So she's got that whole issue. She's, stressed the hell out about that. I'm like, girl, you could have just turned right, but instead you chose to turn left. So Duffy wants to plan a party for Brooke. She tells British, I want to plan something for Brooke, to kind of lift her spirits. And they talk about who they're going to invite. And then British says, let's talk about who we're not going to invite. So they're trying to consider whether or not they're going to invite Malaysia, since a lot of the women in the group have a problem with her. Finally, we get to Jennifer and her meeting Jelani's parents. Y'all, let me tell you something, how I feel about Jennifer. Ever since I started watching Basketball Wives, I never really felt Jennifer. I've never been like a big Jennifer fan. I feel like she's just so concerned about the wrong things. She's more interested in, I don't know if this is how she really is. She must be this bougie in real life, because she talked about in the past how she grew up wealthy. I think she said her parents would come pick her up in a Rolls Royce or a Porsche. No, a Porsche. Her parents would come pick her up from school in a Porsche. So she probably grew up, with a silver spoon in her mouth, but still, she's always concerned to me about the wrong thing. She's not real at all. It's always about labels and money and, living this high class life. And I've never really felt Jennifer. So I don't feel like I'm not cheering for her in any kind of way. I really don't care if it works out with Jelani or not. I will always remember, her husband, her ex-husband, Eric Williams, throwing that damn drink. That was the highlight of her career when he threw that drink in her face. I don't want to be mean. I know I sound really crazy right now, but that was the highlight of her career. That made her so relevant because I don't think Jennifer would still be around if it wasn't for that damn drink being thrown in her face, because she gives nothing. She's always on the sidelines of what's really going on the show. She doesn't contribute anything. She doesn't add anything. I just don't understand why they keep casting this woman, other than the fact that, hey, that's the woman whose husband threw that drink in her face. So she meets with Jelani's parents, and Jelani, I have no issues with Jelani. I just don't know if he's rich enough for Jennifer, because the kind of lifestyle that she wants to live, I have no idea if this man can sustain it, and I have no idea. Maybe she's at that point now where she's just so desperate. She don't care how much money they make as long as she has a man in her life. So Jelani's dad comes right out the gate and asks Jennifer, what are your intentions with my son? And in her confessional, Jennifer was like, hold up, this is something that a father would ask, my father would ask my partner, what are your intentions with my daughter? Not his dad asking me that. Yeah, his dad asked you that. So what are your intentions? Because you probably come off really, really bougie, and he's like a regular blue collar kind of guy. So they want to know what's up. So Jennifer was like, she fumbled the ball. She didn't really give a good answer. She just acted all, flabbergasted. So then the mother asked her, have you guys talked about children? And this time she gave a straight answer, and she says that she's, definitely open to having children. So the meeting went well. I mean, if I was his mom and he was my son, I think I'd still be giving her the side eye. Moving on. So now we are at the Back in the Game party hosted by your girl Duffy, DJ Duffy. So everybody shows up. Malaysia shows up with Jackie, despite the fact that half the women in that room don't even like her. She still made an appearance. Angel wasn't there because she had just had her baby. That's another thing. Angel. What was Angel doing on the show this season? She's pregnant as hell, stressed out as hell because she has a high risk pregnancy, not enough iron. What is she doing on the show? She misses all of the events because she's so pregnant. What was she doing on the show? First of all, I don't think Angel adds anything either. Before she even got pregnant, when she first was on the scene, I didn't understand why she was there. She's very meek, mild. She can't really hang with women like I didn't get it. But anyways, she had her baby, so she wasn't at the Back in the Game party. And then she's with what's his name? Rockstar girl. Jackie wants everyone to, so they're all sitting there commiserating, talking, whatever. And Jackie's sitting next to Malaysia, and it's like what do you call those things? I don't know. It's like an L-shaped or whatever type of couch. So Jackie's on one end and Jennifer's on the other end, and Jackie's telling Jennifer, why don't you come a little bit closer? You're social distancing yourself way out there. Why don't you come a little bit closer? Jennifer was fine. She didn't want to move nowhere. And Jennifer didn't like the fact how Jackie is trying to push Malaysia up on everybody, like getting everybody to, warm up to Malaysia, but they were still giving her the cold shoulder. Malaysia really don't care. Malaysia has enough on her plate. She can't be worried about these women like that. They can talk to her, they cannot talk to her. I don't think Malaysia really cares. So then Brooke arrives with Brandy. Malaysia and Brandy, so they're all sitting together, and they're talking about what Brooke has been going through with her husband, and Malaysia and Brandy give her some advice because they've been through, cheating husbands and divorces and all of that. And then Jennifer steps in to give her 2 cents about the whole situation, and then Jackie cuts her off and says, she didn't cut her off, but after she was done talking, Jackie looks at Jennifer and says, so Jennifer, when he threw that drink at you, what was going through your mind? That was so funny to me. That tickled the hell out of me because that happened like eons ago. That happened like 100 years ago. And Jackie's bringing it up as if it just happened yesterday. And so Jennifer was all kinds of confused, like, why are you even asking me that? And in her confessional, Jennifer was like, that Jackie, she's so messy. And this is even about me. Well, we're going to make it about you because that was funny as hell. That was a classic. Okay, that's a classic scene, girl. We're going to talk about that until we're all long gone. We're going to keep talking about that in the afterlife because that was hilarious. Oh, and then they said that was emotional abuse. Someone said, I think it was Brandy. She was like, Jackie, that was emotion that was emotional abuse for her. Moving on. So Jackie tells Brandy that she's really proud of her because she spoke to Malaysia and she gave Malaysia a hug. And so Jackie asks Brandy, do you want to go talk to Malaysia? And I'm like, Jackie, just let this stuff happen naturally. You don't have to force people to be in situations together. It's all going to happen naturally. But anyways, Brandy takes her up on her offer and she goes and she sits down and she talks to Malaysia. So they talk about who Malaysia's dating, and Malaysia, she's really mum about that. She doesn't talk about that. And so then Malaysia asks if she tells Brandy, well, somehow or another, Gennaro found out that, I've been talking about him not paying child support. And I'm just trying to figure out who could have told him. So then she flat out asks Brandy, did you tell Gennaro that I've been talking about him not paying child support? And Brandy says, I don't talk to Gennaro personally. Personally, I don't talk to Gennaro. And so when she said that, and she said, personally, I don't talk to Gennaro, I was like, okay, so you're not talking to him personally, but are you talking to him through someone else? In other words, is Brandy telling her ex-husband, because her and her ex-husband seem to be on really good terms, and I'm pretty sure her ex-husband might still be friends with Gennaro, but is she talking to her ex-husband about the things that Malaysia is saying, or is she talking to somebody else about the things that Malaysia is saying, and that third party is relaying it to Gennaro? Is that possible? Because when she said, well, I personally don't talk to him, it's kind of like I talk to him in other ways, but not personally. Like I talk to him anyways. So Malaysia just, she decides to believe Brandy, that she has not been saying anything about what she's been, about her saying that Gennaro's not paying child support. She believes her. The next day, Brooke is on the phone with her soon to be ex-husband. I don't know if they're still together or married or what, but she's on the phone with her cheating husband, and he does the whole, baby, I'm sorry, baby, I miss you, can I come talk to you, we can work this out, and all this and that. And Brooke says that she's not ready for all of that. And she says that she doesn't even know if their marriage can survive this. In her confessional, Brooke says that she doesn't know if her bruised ego can allow her to try to repair this marriage because, Brooke looks like someone, like a lot of these women, she looks like someone who takes a lot of pride in herself, who thinks very highly of herself. And then to see your husband lusting over another woman who's probably nowhere near as bad as you when it comes to looks and how you keep yourself together, it probably did hurt her ego because she puts a lot of work in herself. And then her husband's probably talking to, somebody at the corner gas station or something. And I can see Brooke being really hurt about that. And that should be enough for you to not look back. I mean, I'm not all about, they don't have kids together and her children are grown. So it's not like they got to keep a family together. If I was Brooke, I would chunk up the deuce and go about my business because you don't got to tell me twice that you find somebody else more interesting than me. So moving on to Jackie, British, and Malaysia. So Jackie wants to get British and Malaysia together so they can work out their issues. Jackie's the forever peacemaker. And so they do some small talk about dating and men and so on and so forth. And British says that she's at that point in her life right now where she has the freedom to do whatever she wants to do, whatever she feels like doing. She says, if I want to take home this guy and take home that guy and do what adults do, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And then for whatever reason, Jackie, you can tell her whole face changed. Jackie got really judgmental when British said that. And she was like, your body's your temple. And, you're running amok in these LA streets ever since you've come back to California. She was just really taking offense and, trying to be all holier than thou. And you can't live like that. And she can do whatever the hell she wants to do. She's grown, Jackie. She can do that. She can do that. So, but I know how Jackie rolls. Jackie's just all about entertainment. You know, when Jackie gets into these crazy moods and she wants to fight everybody, she's all doing it for TV. She's doing it for ratings. She knows what she needs to do to keep her checks coming. So I don't take Jackie too seriously when she acts like this. But yeah, she's just doing it for show. So British tells her that, you know, Jackie, you need to kind of scale back because we're all talking about, or everybody's saying how you are constantly in people's business. And so Jackie's like, how am I in everybody's business? I stay in my lane. She does everything but stay in her lane. So British explains to her all the things that she does. And you're trying to get these people who are beefing, you're trying to get them to come together. And then these people who are beefing, you're trying to get them to come together. You're all over the place trying to put out fires. And sometimes you just have to let things be and let people work out their own issues. And so then Jackie was like, well, if everybody is saying this, you know, who's saying it? You're saying everybody's saying it. And so, you know, British tries to kind of backpedal a little bit. And Jackie's like, no, you said everybody's saying that I meddle too much. What are they saying, or who's saying all of this? So then she decides to call Jennifer. So she gets on the phone and Jackie calls Jennifer, and Jennifer didn't answer. 3 seconds later, British calls Jennifer and says she'll probably answer for me. Sure enough, Jennifer answered for British. And Jackie was pissed. So then they ask her, you know, do you think that Jackie meddles too much? And, you know, because she already knew that Jackie was listening, Jennifer cleaned up her answer and got really diplomatic. And she was like, well, she's very concerned about people getting along or some nonsense like that. And then for whatever reason, you know, Malaysia got involved, and then Malaysia hung up on Jennifer. And then Jennifer called right back, and she was like, you know, she ain't got no right to hang up on me, because when I looked at my phone, it didn't say Malaysia Pargo was calling me. It said that British was calling me. And it got so petty and so stupid. Whatever. I didn't get what was going on there. I really didn't get it. But yeah, Jackie's all for show. Just like in the first half of season 10, when she was shaking the table and she got up and she was throwing drinks when they went to the desert and they didn't want to stay in the desert. Jackie does all that for show because she makes up with people way too quick for it to be anything too serious. So yeah, that's my little review. Ain't nothing really much going on. It's an interesting season. It's okay. I'm not familiar with Brooke or British because I did not watch them when they originally appeared on the scene. For whatever reason, I didn't watch them when their seasons were on, but I watched before them and I watched after them. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of get back into the groove of Basketball Wives, and thank God we ain't got no damn Shawnee. We don't have no, oh my God, what's her name? The one from New York, Jennifer's ex-best friend. We don't have her. We don't have to worry about the two sisters. You know, they're gone because, you know, they were knucking and bucking at DJ Duffy's event. So they're gone. What was that woman's name? Oh my goodness, the one who was getting into it with OG. I can't believe I forgot her. Oh, Evelyn. Yeah, no Evelyn. No Evelyn, no Shawnee, because they would dominate so hard that the other women never had a chance to really shine because it was always about Evelyn. The other women never, I'm just glad they're gone. Okay, so they're not there no more. That is my review. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe. And I would definitely talk to you later. Bye.